cool on YouTube, so you clicked on this video because you wanted to learn more about this hose end timer. We're going to talk about quite a few different things about this, how cool it is, and why this is something you might need. Now, you can pick this thing up for about $102. It comes with a 2-zone hose end timer and the Wi-Fi hub. This connects to the Wi-Fi hub via Bluetooth, and then this connects to an outlet which powers it, and it also doubles as a smart outlet, which is kind of cool. Then you also have these little moisture and temperature gauge or temperature sensors that you can buy for 35 bucks a piece, and this will tell you a little bit more about how the lawn is doing or your garden or anything like that, tell what the moisture level is on the soil as well as temperature, so you can kind of use that to gauge on watering your lawn. So like I said, for $102 you can pick this up, and 35 bucks a piece for the moisture sensor. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check those out. As we all know, keeping your lawn nice and green, you got to water it quite a bit. Same thing for your garden, making sure that that's growing really well as your flowers. And that takes a lot of work. We can take a lot of work out of it by buying something like this. If you don't have an irrigation system, this is probably something you should be interested in and something you probably should purchase. Something like this. One of the biggest things about buying an irrigation system, like an in-ground one, is the price of it. The price of it is like in the thousands of dollars. And to install it, it tears up your lawn just to install it, or it tears up wherever you're trying to put it. So installing something like this from RainPoint, like a hose end timer for Wi-Fi, allows the ease of use of being able to put hoses out and set up your own automations and watering your lawn. The last thing you want to be doing is turning on the faucet or the spigot on the outside and then turning it off and setting timers. That's really annoying and takes a lot of time out of your day and a lot of paying attention to what's going on. Buy one of these things and you can set up an automation to have it run at certain times. Start times, like in the morning, like at 4 in the morning when you're not awake, you can have your sprinklers running. That way it's going on before it gets sunny out and gets hot during the summer. You can set up 2 different zones on this, and they have different buttons on here. So you can go ahead, and if you want to go ahead and manually water something or turn the water on, you can do that by the press of a button without getting on the app. Cool thing is, it just hooks up to the outside. Hooks up to a hose, hooks up to a spigot, and then you just go ahead and put in the hoses on the bottom and run the hoses to what sprinklers you need, and you can use any sprinkler you want. One of the different things about RainPoint's setup here is they give you this Wi-Fi access point that you plug inside the house. Now that's no different than others, but what is different and what is cool is since you're going to be using an outlet, they give you your outlet back. And you can automate this outlet, which is kind of cool. And you can use Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, which is kind of cool because we all like to ask Alexa or Google Assistant to go ahead and water our lawn, right? That's cool. That's like Iron Man type stuff. Now, Iron Man never had a lawn that I remember of, but it's kind of cool. Another thing that RainPoint allows you to have is they have these moisture sensors. These moisture sensors have 3 probes here that go in the lawn, and they're low profile. They pick up how much moisture and what temperature is in the ground. So that way you can better understand when you need to water your lawn, when it doesn't need to be watered anymore, and just kind of a little bit more information about what's going on in the lawn. So like I said, this is really easy to set up. You just go ahead and plug this into an outlet inside your house, nearby where you're going to plug in the hose timer. Go outside, put the hose timer into the spigot where you're going to use it, and then hook up the hoses that you want to the bottom on each zone. Now from there, you can actually hook up more than 1 sprinkler to each zone. That way you can get better coverage. That's up to how much water flow and pressure you have at your house. You're gonna have to figure that out yourself. Every house is different, but I would say most sprinklers you probably get 1 or at least 1 for sure, but you can probably get 2, maybe 3, and maybe even 4 sprinklers at a time, which kind of helps you get a lot bigger coverage per zone. And then you can go ahead and put this in the ground, wherever that is, put it in the middle, like so if it's the backyard, put it in the middle of your backyard, if it's in the front yard, whatever. And you can even leave it there the whole summer or anything like that and mow over top of it because it's low profile and it's not sticking up out of the ground. That's really cool that they offer the Wi-Fi hub with the smart outlet, and then they allow you to buy these. These are separate, I understand, but they allow you to buy these so you can better understand what's going on in your lawn. So let's go ahead and get into the app and kind of show you around all the automations you can do and just kind of give you an overview of what the app looks like. So here's a quick rundown of the app on my iPhone. So I have the irrigation hub, the outlet socket, and then the Wi-Fi socket attached to it, and then the 2-zone Wi-Fi timer. So the Wi-Fi timer connects to the hub, and the hub connects to my Wi-Fi network, and everything is paired through this app right here. So if you go ahead and drill down into the timer, it will show you that there's 2 zones at the top left, or at least the top. It says zone 1, zone 2. You can name them, and that way you'll be able to better understand which one's which. As you can see here on the left-hand side, or in the middle here, it says soil moisture and temperature. That is that soil moisture and temperature gauge that's put into the ground. Well, this one's not in the ground right now because I took it out for kind of going reviewing with, but it's 8% right now. It keeps flipping back and forth. 8%, 68 degrees, and right now 0 gallons usage last run. I haven't ran. I just kind of did for testing real quick, and I can switch between different zones. Now, thing to remember is that moisture temperature sensor only goes by zone. So, I mean, in all reality, you want to be able to put it where you're watering for each zone. So if you got 2 zones, you probably want 2 of those. So if you look at here, you can edit those names and put different names in there. And down below it says battery status full, mode is idle, and next irrigation. Right now it has no date because I don't have a next irrigation on this. But at least you got a quick glance of what's going on right now and where the battery life is. So you can go again to manual, and this will allow me to run each zone manually for a certain amount of time. So if I wanted to go out there and wash my car or wash my truck or whatever it is, I can say run for 30 minutes or whatever I needed for, without having to push the button on the actual device. Then you have plan. This is where you can start planning out your irrigation or your drip lines and all that. You can decide which zone you want to do and then pick plans. So whether you want it to on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you want it to water in the morning, and then maybe you want to water at night for whatever reason, if it's really hot outside, or if you're just watering grass seed in, you can do that through here. So you can decide what type of schedule that you want for the watering for each zone, each day, and what time it starts, and how long you want it to water for. Then you can also go in here and do a rain delay. So if it rains outside and you want to delay that for 72 hours because you got enough water, or maybe you didn't quite get enough water, so you want to delay it for 24 hours, you can do that through this app right here for each zone. Also, then you got the sensor. So this displays the temperature and humidity, moisture of the ground. Well, it should. Right now it is. It's not the ground, it's not in the ground, but this will display kind of like a map on a daily basis of what the temperature is of the ground, or at least the soil, and the moisture of the soil, so you can get a better understanding of what you're doing when you're watering your lawn or watering your flowers or garden or whatever it has to be. And as you can see, soil sensor here, and it's got a battery life here, and I got it on. It's turned on. Now, again, if I go to the zone 2, there's nothing there because I only have one sensor for that. But you kind of guesstimate there. And then you can go down to my, and then I have instructions. So they have more instruction on how to do other things with this, as well as contact us. And then if you go here to edit, you will also be able to get more device information, tap to run automations, go through that, and then you also have Alexa and Google Assistant, so you can set that up, third-party control, through those voice-controlled apps. So let's go back here. Maybe. Now you got Wi-Fi socket. So here, you got an automation you can run. You can turn on and off what's on or plugged into that socket, and you can set a timer for it to turn on or off at a certain time. Now back to the irrigation hub. So if you tap on that, you can add more devices to this hub. So if you got another irrigation or Wi-Fi irrigation timer that you want to add to this, you can add more than one. And then you can go to scenes. And this was where you can set up your automations. You can also do tap to run. And this is where you can actually get down to it to when the temperature changes, schedule, when a device status changes, like if the soil moisture gets below 30% or something like that, whatever it is, you can say run my irrigation for 2 hours or whatever. So that way you can have it automatically run when it actually needs to run versus when every other day or every 3 days. You can have it run when the moisture in the ground needs it, or at least the grass needs it, or even your garden. And then you can also do tap features of that. So also weather changes. I think we went over that too. So this is where you can set up these automations and then tap to run. You can create scenes there too as well. That's it with the app. So now that you've seen the app, you've seen the product itself, what are some things that you could use this for? Is this something that interests you? I'd love to hear your comments down below on something that you would use this for. Do you have a garden that you're working on? Do you have flowers that you like to water every day or have watered every day? Or do you really love your lawn? Because I do, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Go ahead and comment down below. I'd love to hear from you on this. Like I said, this is $102 right now, 105, I think it's 100 something, a little low 100 on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. You get both of these devices. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out yourself. $35 gets you one of these moisture sensors, and I'll leave this link as well down below. RainPoint also has a single zone with a Wi-Fi hub, and I'll leave that below too as well, so you can check it out if 2 isn't your jam. But is this something you're really going to use? Is this something that interests you? I'm going to tell you right now, I can't wait till it gets warm out again and I can set this back up and get more use out of it once spring starts back up. Now in Kansas and Missouri, it is getting to the fall, well, it is fall, but the winter season almost here, and there's really no need for it yet anymore, at least for the year. But when spring comes up, we're gonna have to start watering our lawn and our flowers and garden, all that stuff. If this video helped you out in any way, please leave me a like. And if this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.